The king was tired of palace food. He ordered the chef to make a dish he had never eaten before. The chef racked his brain, making one delicious dish after another for the king, but the king still had no appetite. When the chef served the 13th dish, the king was furious and warned him, "If you don't make something I like, I'll have your head cut off." The chef was both heartbroken and terrified. He felt like his head was about to part ways with his body. So he grabbed a piece of black bread and secretly fled the palace in the middle of the night. The next day, the king eagerly sat down for lunch, but he waited and waited, and no meal was served. He ordered his guards to search the entire palace, but they couldn't find the chef. The king was furious. "How dare that wretched chef run away? Does that mean I'm the only poor soul in the kingdom who hasn't had lunch today?" So the king gathered his guards, mounted his horse on an empty stomach, and set off to chase the runaway chef. Deep in the forest, the king spotted the chef lying on a tree, feeding birds. He ordered the chef to get down immediately, but to his surprise, the chef didn't move at all. He was pretending to be dead. Enraged, the king ordered his soldiers to chop down the tree, but the soldiers swung their swords weakly. They all felt sorry for the chef. They knew that if the king caught him, he would surely be executed. Besides, all the delicious food the king rejected at the palace was secretly given to the hard-working soldiers by the chef. And well, as the saying goes, it's hard to turn against someone who has fed you. Seeing his soldiers barely scratching the bark, the king flew into a rage. He grabbed an axe himself and swung it at the tree with full force. Turns out, the king was quite skilled at chopping trees. The chef trembled in fear as he watched the king chop with such force, and in his panic, his bundle slipped from his grasp and fell to the ground. Curious, the king asked what it was. A soldier cut off a piece and explained, "This is black bread, the food of the poor." The king took a bite, and his eyes lit up instantly. He had never tasted anything so delicious in his life. He looked up at the chef and said, "Come down, I forgive you. I can't believe you never told me you could make something this good." Finally, the chef climbed down from the tree. From that day on, he became the king's most trusted chef, because every meal he made always came with a piece of the king's favorite black bread.